Hi everyone, it's Caitlin here and welcome to the channel. Today I want to go over some of Star Stable's strengths and weaknesses and answer the big question that comes back up every year. Is Star Stable still worth playing in 2026? If you're someone who's taken a break or maybe you're new to the game and wonder if it's worth the storage space, this video might help you decide. And I want to be clear from the start, this is not a hate video, but it's also not going to be blind positivity, so take everything I say with a grain of salt as a lot of these topics depend on personal preference. As someone who's been in the game for over a decade, I've seen it change a lot throughout the years. Some aspects of it have improved a lot, while others not so much. For many players, Star Stable was an escape from reality from a very young age, and we essentially grew up with it. This is the main reason I think why every new change feels personal and why opinions can be so divided in this community. So let's chat about it. For anyone who's not familiar with the game yet, Star Stable is an MMORPG centered around horses and adventure, and it was released worldwide in mid-2012. The game starts off by letting you create and customize your own character and horse, and then sends you out into the world of Jorvik to explore and complete quests. I'll go into more detail about all of the activities you can do in just a moment. Once you're in Jorvik, the first thing you will probably notice is how the game looks and feels. Star Stable has come a long way since its release and has made gradual visual improvements, however, the results can be pretty mixed these days. There has definitely been progress in the graphics, lighting, and some of the areas around Jorvik, which can be really captivating for first-time players. Character and horse models have also been refined in the past couple of years, animations are smoother, movements feel more natural, and overall they align better with the game's current style. At the same time though, Star Stable's visual direction has shifted toward a softer, more stylized look, which seems to cater more to younger audiences. And this works really well in areas designed with this style in mind, especially the newer ones, but some of the older areas can feel a little disjointed. Some players really enjoy this change, saying it makes the game feel more polished and immersive, while others feel it has lost some of its charm and atmosphere that it used to have. We might, however, be in for a surprise when Marchengast Castle releases. Judging by what we know so far, it does look promising and I'm hoping to do a tour of it as well. Looking past the visuals, gameplay is where the difference between new and returning players starts to become noticeable. For new players, there is a whole mountain of content to explore. You have the main and side quests, which if you play at a moderate pace, you'll still have plenty to go through for a while. Then the annual events like Halloween, the Equestrian Festival, or Camp Western, just to name a few, where you have different activities that give horse and player XP and some seasonal bundles, as well as activities to do with friends. Speaking of friends, you have the option to either play solo or join clubs for dressage or hangouts depending on what you prefer. Lastly, you have the daily chores, which give you horse XP and shillings, and championships if you're more of a competitive player. If you're an older player, however, you might be at more of a standstill. After you're done with the main and side quests, including the reputation, you might start to feel a little disinterested in the game. Updates tend to focus more on cosmetic additions or smaller side content rather than expanding the main storyline, so progress can feel slower, especially if you've been playing since release and there's not much left to do, so you rely on waiting for the bigger updates just to feel something. I was also debating on comparing Star Stable to some other games when it comes to this specific topic. However, I feel like it wouldn't be fair really, as this game has its own niche, and for the comparison to really hold any water, I would need to compare to very similar games which, in my opinion, even games like Rival Stars or Red Dead Redemption have their own specific story that doesn't really connect much to Star Stable even when it comes to the graphics, so I'll just skip that part altogether. Moving on, another important part that comes up a lot is money and pricing. Star Stable uses a subscription system, so you need a membership to access the full game if you want to play regularly. At the very start, you'll get a few days of free Star Rider membership to try the game out and get a feel for it, but once it expires, you will be limited to Moorland and Fort Pinta. They do occasionally release codes that give you a free week of Star Rider, but for the most part, access without a membership is very limited. When it comes to the different membership options, Lifetime Star Rider is by far the best choice. It's a one-time purchase that gives you access to the full map and all of the quests, making it ideal if you plan to play long-term. My advice would also be to wait for the 30% discount, which happens every month or so, or the 50% discount, which is on Black Friday in November. When it comes to in-game currency, you have Jorvik shillings and star coins. Jorvik shillings are the standard currency you earn by completing the quests, daily challenges, and other activities, and they are mainly used for general gameplay needs like horse care items, character and horse stack and gear, and things like that. Star coins, on the other hand, are the premium currency which can be bought with real money, and they are mainly used for purchasing horses and some specific items in store that are not available for shillings. A nice bonus for players is the monthly bazaar, which usually happens at the end of each month and offers discounted prices on certain horse breeds that can go up to 50%, as well as double star coins for the same price. These events are great for planning purchases and saving money. That being said, there's also a cap of 10,000 shillings you can hold in your inventory at a time, which can make shopping a bit tricky. This means if you're trying to create a new outfit or buy several pieces of gear, you'll need to go back and forth a lot, which can be frustrating. So while the bazaar and discounts are helpful, the shillings cap is something to keep in mind when planning your shopping. Now that we've talked about money and how to get the most value from membership and star coins, it's also worth covering some other areas that players often notice, like customer support, chat moderation, and the occasional glitches or technical issues. These might not stop you from enjoying the game, but they can still affect your overall experience, especially if you're a new player. In my opinion, Star Stable's customer service is at one of its weakest points by far. Responses can be very delayed, sometimes unhelpful, and occasionally you might not get a response at all. It's definitely a hit or miss, but it's worth mentioning because when something goes wrong in the game, you rely on customer service to either fix it or guide you through a solution, which cannot always be guaranteed. Another area that often comes up is chat moderation. Star Stable has a fairly strict system in place, which is great for keeping younger players safe, but it can feel restrictive for older players who just want to socialize or chat freely. Certain words can be automatically filtered, and even harmless messages can sometimes get blocked out, and you'd have to find ways to go around the censorship in order to get the message through. Then there are glitches and technical issues. Nothing game-breaking usually, but things like horses clipping through objects, visual bugs, or occasional lags can pop up, especially during bigger events or in crowded areas. Most of the time, these are minor annoyances, but they can still affect gameplay if they become a pattern. Some of those have been around for years, so it's very unlikely that they'll be fixed anytime soon. This is not to say that you will experience them constantly, but it's something worth noting if you're planning on paying for a lifetime membership. So, with all of that being said, let's wrap it up and sort of answer the question: is Star Stable still worth playing in 2026? My answer would be that it largely depends on what you are looking for in a game. If you're looking for deep mechanics and more complex gameplay systems, this game might not be for you. However, if you want to play casually and don't mind some of the issues I mentioned before, it definitely is still worth playing. I've been in the game for over a decade, and while I have some critical opinions on the direction they've taken, I still find some time to enjoy the better aspects of it. It is definitely a unique MMO experience and has potential to be even better. Alright everyone, that was it for this video. I hope it helped you get a better idea of what the game is like, whether you're new, returning, or just thinking about coming back. Feel free to share your own opinions if you have any. Thank you for sticking around, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!